Hey guys, welcome to another episode. Well, it's not real talk anymore because that was messed up.
Yeah.
As we started it, some bigger names came and made their show real talk. So now we gotta change our names. So, welcome to another episode of Mindless Banter. I'm here with Tim to continue the series of people in the channel. So, what's good with it, Tim?
Not much, man. Not much. Life.
I feel you on that one. It's been, I don't know, February's been really slow.
It's been kind of fast for me, to be honest.
Well then, I guess I envy you? I don't know. So let's get right into this.
Okay.
For the people that don't know, tell me about yourself. Tell them about yourself.
Well, I've been in Taekwondo for about going on 11 years now. I'm not going to quit until I get my 4th degree, probably. I've been trying to get back into the habit of that. I aspire to become a better lyricist than I am already. What else? Let's see. I got a fro.
Yes, that is your. That is your. When people think of Tim, that is what they think of. That and Bill Cosby, which cannot be good for you at this point in time.
Yeah, it's not good anymore.
Should find another actor that you look like. I don't think there's anybody that looks like Bill Cosby though.
Yeah, I know, but I get Jaleel White, so I'll just keep it at that. He's not a rapist,
as far as we know. Let's keep it that way.
All right.
So, do you work any jobs? Where do you go to school?
I work at McDonald's, and I go to school at SWIC right now. That's where I'm currently taking classes.
So, you're there with Ken, James, and everybody?
Yes, sir.
I don't think that's been... I think it's been implied on the podcast, but I'm here alone. Like, I'm trying to do all of this from, 3-4 states away, so it's kind of difficult. But what I wanted to ask, what's it like working at McDonald's?
Well, I'll be honest, lately it's been okay-ish, but my hours have been shitty because we've hired a bunch of new people. Overall, I honestly don't mind it just because I've gotten used to the people there. And I know a good majority of the people that work there, and I'm friends with just about everybody. So it's not too bad, but I mean, having a job in general can always lead to stress. So, and that being fast food, and we'll have certain rushes during different hours, of the day. And there's always that 12 and 1 o'clock rush, and then you've got that rush at 6 o'clock at night, which is terrible. That's usually when everybody kind of starts to hate each other. I mean, you can just see the look in people's faces, and you can just feel the heat coming off of them. That's just how mad they get. And then managers have so little patience with you, it's not even funny. But I mean, I can't really blame them, I mean, it is stressful. I mean, so that they're just trying to get their job done. We all are. Because at the end of the day, when everybody's off, it's kind of just not even a big deal anymore.
Yeah.
It's only a big deal when you're there.
So the reason I ask, what's it like working at McDonald's? It seems like such a basic-esque kind of question, but it's something that's kept me away from service industry is having to deal with the people that come in.
See, I'm on grill, and I don't do front line, so I don't normally have to talk to people, which is good.
Will you ever be out in front?
Honestly, I don't want to. I might see myself doing that somewhere along the line, maybe later in my life. Maybe not with McDonald's, but I might get experience with it somewhere. I'm just I love talking to people, and I feel like it would really help with overcoming anxiety with some things too. But I know for a fact that I'm a kinesthetic learner, so I can easily just pick things up by doing things physically rather than talking to someone the whole time. for communication and whatnot. I'm not saying that I'm terrible at it, but my strong point is where kinesthetic is at. That's why I chose grill, and that is easy. Like there's like kind of two parts to it. Like you have grill and table, and on table that's like just making the sandwiches and whatnot, which isn't that bad. But honestly, like I hate that more than anything. I'd rather do grill because grill is literally just pushing buttons and putting food in the fryer, and then pushing more buttons and then putting stuff on the grill. Like it's just so easy. If I could do that every time, then I'd be okay. But whenever they're like, "Tim, you're going on table," I'm just like, "Kill me now, strike me down, God, strike me down." Like that's
What
literally
about
what
it
it
though?
feels like.
What about it? Is it
But the
that
thing
you
is,
have to memorize how these things are made or something like that?
well, yeah, that, and it's just like, well, there's two parts to the table. There's prep, and there's a symbol. I don't mind being on a symbol because literally all a symbol is you pick up the clam or the whatever you use to pick up the freaking meat in
Mm-hmm.
the trays, and you just put it on the sandwich and then wrap the sandwich up. The symbol has to actually put like all the toppings, and like when the order comes up on screen, like if somebody orders like has a special request or they want something without like lettuce or whatever, you have to remember that, you know. And I guess sometimes out of habit, I've noticed because I'll watch somebody who's on like a prep, and I'll be on a symbol, and I'll look at the screen, and it'll say like a Big Mac with like no pickles, and I'll watch them put pickles on it. And I'm like, bruh, you just put pickles on there, and you know, I guess it's just out of habit because they'll make the sandwich so many times,
Mm-hmm.
and that honestly is a real stressful part of grill prep is because the orders on the screen, like there'll be so many at a time, and I've only been on prep, I want to say about two or three times, and for me, since I haven't been on there a lot, I feel like that's why I feel like I'll get stressed out, you know. But I mean, other people still do too, because there'll be orders on the screen, and you can clear the screen. But as soon as you think that you can take like a small ass little break just for a minute, somebody orders something else, and then you get pissed, you know. But it's just the fact of making like all those sandwiches. It's just that part is terrible. I don't like that part.
I feel you. So, what is the weirdest, if you can remember, what is the weirdest complicated order that has ever come through? I've always been curious about that.
Let me see. I'm trying to think because we've had a few. Honestly, what I find the weirdest and funniest thing that it doesn't always happen, but somebody will order a cheeseburger without the bun, and I'm just like, what's wrong? Why are you coming here for a cheeseburger without the bun? And they get it in like a salad. Like we hand it to them in a salad bowl with the meat and the cheese just in there, and I'm like,
Ew.
I literally can't even like focus and do my job right when I see that, dude. It's like the stupidest thing. Like
Oh
I
my
don't get
god.
it.
You might as well just like wait, so it's on a salad or it's just in a salad container?
Like it'll be like they might have leaf lettuce in there, but it's in the salad container, and it's literally just the piece of meat and the cheese. It's the chintziest thing I've ever seen, and I'm like, how can people order that? Like that's not even a salad, man. Just get the burger. Like, what are you doing with your life?
The burger
Uh,
is, I mean, not the patty, but the buns, it disguises the nastiness that is fast food, McDonald's food.
it does, dude.
So I
It
don't
does.
know how they have the stomach to even that's
I
I
don't know,
never
bro.
even knew people did that.
The bun's supposed to hide the shame, man. That's what the bun is for. Like you have all shame right there when you're eating salad with the piece of meat.
Oh,
It's
that's
not
so
right.
nasty.
It is, dude.
Like I
One
know it
more
all goes to the same place, but you need that bun there.
you do like that's the purpose of it being a cheeseburger. One more thing though, like while I'm already talking about it, like since I'm not on front line, I can usually like I'll usually walk back if I don't have to drop anything, you know, like any kind of food or whatever, and I'll be talking to a person who's in the hole, you know, paying people out, and like you just see like all these people ordering like $30 and $40 meals, and I'm just like, you could have went out to eat if you were gonna spend this much money.
True.
Like, especially on McDonald's. I will never spend damn near 40. You won't even catch me spending $20 at McDonald's. Like, what the
I
fuck?
guess it depends on how many people are in the party. Like if it's just one
True.
person paying 40 bucks, then yeah, go eat somewhere else, like
Order
Chipotle or
pizza,
something.
man. Yeah, just order pizza, bro.
Exactly. But if it's like a family of, I don't know, like 12 people, then I guess I understand that.
Hate that because then people order like 6 McDoubles. That is the worst shit ever. I hate it. The one thing that is really terrible is when someone orders, like, tries to request something fresh, and like, yeah, we'll put it down to make it fresh. But then some people will get pissed when they say it's not fresh. I mean, it's like, okay, man, this is McDonald's. There's a lot of food around out here. Like, if you want something fresh, like, you can literally say you want it for fresh. Like, that's all you have to freaking do. And then some people, I guess, they just don't get that. But
What does that even mean? You want it for fresh?
like, when you, not, I didn't mean to say for fresh. I meant like fresh. Like, as soon as it comes up, that's when we put it like in the burger. Like, let's say I have
Okay.
right now, as soon as it comes up.
So as warm as it can possibly be.
Yup, it's possibly be.
That's another stingy thing. Like, I don't know. That just feels weird to me. I didn't even know that was a thing, but
Yeah,
here it
dude.
is. Um, Here's another question about the same thing. Do you eat the food now that you've worked there?
I I do, but like I lay back. Like when I honestly got hired there, I was kind of like, oh my god, like I can eat whatever I want. Like I work here, nigga. I could just eat however many McDoubles and the chickens I want. And like that, yeah, I guess that's some people's mentality at first. But then after a while, I was like, nah, I can't be doing this because there's this dude that worked there. He was like, bro, don't be eating the food like that. That's how I gained all this weight. And I was like, shit, you telling me you weren't even this big before? Like, fuck. I mean, like that made me stop and like, I don't know, like they take stock of what they do. So like, I'm not really into like stealing the food and shit like that because I'm not trying to get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
But just the fact that how it's made though, because I literally get to watch everything being made because I make all the food, for the most part. So I know what it looks like, and I'll see how nasty some of the shit is sometimes, and like honestly, I won't even get the normal stuff that I used to get. Like, I like the grilled chicken, to be honest. That's actually pretty fire. I actually had that for the first time, not even knowing that we sold that. Like,
Yeah, I
it's
think
kind of funny.
you usually go on getting the crispy, but I don't know. It's a different thing.
It
So
is.
I'm gonna shift the topic a little bit back to something that you said before. You're taking Taekwondo again.
Yeah, well, I mean, not again, but I mean, I've got back into the habit of going again. I went back last week, and then I don't think I went again the next week, but I showed up this week, though. It's just been kind of hard because I've been low key kind of stressed out from classes and like I honestly did not have a job until last year. Like this is like my first like legitimate job with like actual hours. So like I'm more tired now, which I
Mm.
honestly hate. And I've just noticed how it'll drain me. And so that's honestly why I had stopped going to Taekwondo for a minute. But I'm glad that I'm starting to get back into it again because I'm not completely out of shape, but I can feel it. You know, just being somewhere like walking up the steps and stuff and being out of breath, and it's like this shouldn't be happening to me right now. Like I know I'm capable of more endurance. And I'm not. It's not like I'm like busting a sweat, at the top of the steps, like I'm tired, dehydrated and all that. But I'm panting, to the point where it's like I don't remember being like this. And then when I remember going to Taekwondo practice, like going back, like I think it was 2 weeks ago for the first time in a long time, dude. Oh my god, they whipped my ass. Like we were doing this exercise where we had to do roundhouse kicks, going back and forth across the dojang, and we were like rotating legs and stuff like that. But I just hadn't did that in such a long time, man. I was feeling so burnt out. But like the other night, I was pumped, man. I was ready. And sometimes all it is for you just kind of got to get pumped before you go in there, and it just requires a lot of memorization too. Because like being a black belt, like and whenever you test, and not even when you test, you kind of always have to know the material because you'll be asked to help out somebody, or teach someone their new form or whatnot. And if you don't remember that, then you're kind of screwed, And it's like you gotta ask somebody, but I hate having to do that when you're a certain rank because it's like once you're like high enough rank, you shouldn't really be asking too many questions about like stuff that you already know.
Mhm.
And they don't really have too much of a problem with it, but it's just the maturity of it. Like you should know better. It's like I know pretty much all the forms. I could go through them right now if I wanted to and probably remember them. And like I said, it's a kinesthetic kind of thing. Like it's all muscle memory for me. Like, if I think about it real hard, I won't get it. And I've noticed that because I can be doing my form as serious as possible, and I won't get it. And normally, I'll try to just go with the flow, and then I'll wind up remembering whatever I'm supposed to be doing. That's usually what helps. That's why it's like muscle memory for me.
Do you remember what the reason was for getting into Taekwondo in the first place?
Oh, dude. Yeah, I
You wanted to
remember.
beat up the bullies at school or something like that?
I mean, honestly, it kind of started off like that because there was like a little ordeal that had happened that went down, and
Ooh, some schoolyard drama.
yeah, it was like on the bus though. And my thing, I had already wanted to be in martial arts just from watching Power Rangers and all that, and I'm just like, I want to do this, I want to do that, you know.
Yeah.
And this one kid that I was friends with in the neighborhood, like we all rode the same bus, obviously. There was this one chick, who was just an asshole for some reason, and I remember it being picture day because she had on these like pink shoes that were like they didn't look steel toe, but they looked hard enough like they would hurt.
They're not even gonna
And
show
she
up
was
in the
kicking.
picture.
She was kicking my friend, and I was like, dude, like this, like she was kicking him for no reason, and he told her to stop. And she was about like I want to say a year younger than me, or 2 years younger than me, because she was about the same age as him. And freaking, I was like, dude, let's just switch spots. Like, I don't, she's not stopping. I don't know what to do. I'd rather her kick me than you, you know? It's like, I don't want to see you get hurt. And so she started kicking me, and I'm just like, okay, this has got to stop. So, like, I reached down to grab her leg as we're sitting down on the bus. And, dude, her foot went straight into my eye. Like, it was terrible. Like, oh my God, dude. I remember crying and everything when I got off the bus, and, like, I was so upset, and my mom was like, "What happened?" You know, and I didn't want to tell him and everything. I was kind of just trying to lie and be like, "I'm okay, I'm fine." And then, like right then and there, like that was like I think it was like that night we were looking in the phone book for like martial arts schools, and then the next day, it was no, was it the day of? I want to say it was the day of. It was the day of or the next day because we took initiative real quick. Like I know that for a fact.
Wow.
And that was honestly when I enrolled. Like a day, like literally a day after that. And honestly, no one's honestly messed with me since. But
You're a pretty
I don't really.
intimidating dude.
I don't think I'm too. If they knew I did martial arts, then that kind of changes the picture. Because some people they don't act differently, but when they find out, they're like, "Oh, I'm not gonna mess with you, Tim. Like you know martial arts." And I'm honestly not even the kind of guy to try and fight somebody. Like I'm not really about that. And like Taekwondo is supposed to like push you towards to avoid fighting. You know, like it's
Yeah.
always used as a last resort. That's what it's for. You know, like martial arts isn't
Intimidating.
meant.
Like when I said intimidating, I just meant like when you have that
Mhm.
serious face on, you're walking around with a tank top and buff and whatnot.
Mhm.
That's what I meant. But usually Tim walks around with a relatively good mood on his face. Like that's
I
something
do.
about Tim. But you were saying I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I kind of forgot what I was saying.
So move on or just hang on that.
Uh, wait, what was your last thing you had said?
Uh, when I interjected,
Yeah.
I was just saying like Tim is always walking around with a good mood on his face and whatnot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we could shift forward if you want. It's fine.
Yeah, 'cause that's a good segue into how we first met.
It is.
So, you had seen me before, like,
Mhm.
we
I'd always
officially
see you
met.
in the hallways. Yeah, in the hallways.
And
Honestly,
so,
you kind of. I'm not gonna lie. It looked like you had resting bitch face a couple times.
dude, I
That's the
do.
only reason why I didn't. That's the only reason why I didn't talk to you. Cause I was like, what if he hates me? Like he seems like a really chill guy. And like I didn't know if you knew many people. Cause I just kind of always saw you, you know, just like minding your own business.
Mhm.
But that one day when Ken and Dylan said that they had made a new friend, like met you and everything, and they were like, "You're gonna introduce me to you," and I was like, "I have no idea what this guy looks like," and I didn't know it was the guy that I had seen in the hallways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed meeting you because that was honestly a really good time because we found out we had so much in common too, just upon meeting on the first time like that. Like it wasn't one of those things where like we weren't sure of our friendship. You know, it kind of just built that day, honestly.
Yeah, and we hung out literally the next day.
Right? We would hang out just about almost every day.
Exactly.
We
So,
tried to, at least.
a tidbit that has come up on the podcast, but the day you met me, like, actually met me, you were, I don't know how high you were, but you were high.
Yeah, I was. I don't think I was too gone, but I was feeling good. I'll say that I was feeling good.
Yeah, I kind of got that vibe because you were being very friendly, which was nice.
I honestly try to be friendly, even normally, but like it's more of a quiet type of friendly. Normally, I guess if I'm like high, I'm a little bit more, what's the word, assertive with it,
Hmm.
cause I'm just more laid back. I'm kind of just like, okay, they seem nice. But I knew I could tell that you were a nice person from like the get go a little bit, not like from the hallway, because like I said, I didn't know. I was like, this dude probably wants to assassinate me or some shit. No, I'm kidding.
It's that resting bitch face. I haven't
I thought
noticed until recently, very recently. I don't know. I
that
guess
you do
people
shit.
try. Yeah, that I have it, and I thought it was just a thing that girls had or whatever, or at least it's more commonly associated with girls.
I thought,
But yeah, I do have that. I don't know.
dude, I've noticed myself doing that, walking around at Spixenham's, and I'm like, why do I do this? And I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of a habit.
Yeah,
It's whatever though.
could also be the sun. The
True.
sun is
Yeah.
also in my face. I mean, I'm not gonna be happy about that.
Right. I can't see.
Exactly. So after that, it pretty much just goes into the same thing that me and Ken were talking about on the other episode of Mindless Banter, where after that we just hang out every Friday, and I guess through that everybody just became closer.
Yeah,
So,
we really did.
with that said, you are the only other original member that has been there since the beginning, since this channel has started. How does that feel?
Honestly, it feels kind of good because I've had my moments where I feel like things have been too much, but knowing that I've been one of the people that have been here originally, it's kind of like I don't want to leave. Like that's kind of my reason for not wanting to leave, honestly. Because it's like if like I'm technically like one of the founders for this name, and it's like I don't want to like just leave on something that we started. And
Mm,
like you said, we're the originals, man. Like you can't really like replace us and shit.
yeah,
I just don't see it being the same without like us, at least. I'm
you,
not saying it hasn't been the same without other people, but like we're the we've been here for so long, and like we're still here. Like we're the bread and butter, man. We can't change that.
it would there'd be more repercussions, say if one of us left, or even Ken
Yeah.
for that matter, now that he's been so involved with it. But
Mhm.
with past members, they've usually left within like a few
I'm gonna say a couple
episodes.
months. Yeah, episodes at least.
Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't even thought about that.
I'm really proud of our recruitment skills though, because like I was not sure on how that was gonna work, honestly, at first. But I've noticed that we've been able to find like really open-minded people that are just like more than welcome, like more than like happy to like be on the show. Because I've talked to my friends about it, and I'll tell them how like I do a podcast and whatnot, and they're just like, dude, that sounds actually pretty cool. Like, would you mind if I say a couple words on this sometime? I'm like, dude, I just have to go over it, with my friends and everybody, and I'll let them know. Because some people you never know, dude, are more than willing to do stuff like that.
And on that note, like, yeah, if uh, they're cut from the same fold as we are, we'd be happy to have them on. We've had guests from here to who knows. We've had most of the guests that have come on have usually been Ken's friends.
Hmm.
And I guess one of the things that has manifested from being in this little group is that you learn to trust people's judgment. Let's see, Logan. was on. That was a great podcast. Miko's been in some of them. Those were funny.
Yeah,
He brought both of our female characters to the podcast. Summer, she was really fun too.
she was.
And now our newest member, Taylor, who is spectacular.
I know, right?
Like, she's perfect for this podcast. So,
Couldn't have another new member.
no, well, James wasn't official until we recorded the Animu show.
Mhm.
I don't think I ever announced that, but since then he is now an official member.
Okay.
So on that note, I'm not sure how long he's been, like when was the first video he's been in and how long that's lasted. I don't remember. It was after Ken though. So it's not as original as you and me, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. So, we can move on from this topic to something that is still kind of channel related. So I'm going to take this opportunity to announce that we are going to be starting a new show called
Okay.
The Music Powwow. The Musical Powwow. And it's
Mhm.
basically not it's kind of like formatted like a vlog where we're talking in front of a camera, but it's on the musical topics. Very
Mhm.
vague, can sometimes be very specific. It's just it just has to do with music. That's
Mhm.
all I got for the show as it stands right now. First episode might come out sometime next week. I have no idea. I gotta record it. But the reason I'm bringing this up in this interview is because music was one of those sticking points in our friendship.
It was. It brought us together.
I
Brought
think that's
everybody
actually what
together, really.
attracted you to me because I remember you
Mhm.
saying like you were attracted to the fact that I was wearing an Asking Alexandria shirt,
Yeah, I remember that.
which I think also came up in the last interview, but that's besides the point. So I think it was Attack that really clicked.
Yeah, that's what it really was. Because I remember it was that. Which album was that? It
This
was the
Means
one
War.
before. Yeah. Yeah, that one. Oh, it was great. We had a
I
good couple of songs that we both enjoyed on that album. So
and it was one of the last songs we listened to while I was in O'Fallon. It was The Family, I think.
yeah.
That
Oh my God,
that was
dude.
great. But
That is my song.
I haven't listened to them in a while. Actually, in a
Honestly,
long
whenever I
while.
do, I feel you. That's the only song I've downloaded off of that album for real. Cause like, it's just so good to me. And then I found a couple of bonus tracks that I didn't even know about, but
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I'll send them to you later, dude. They're pretty sick.
Have you made the switch to Beartooth?
Oh, I already have my friend. I saw him live at Warp Tour. I want to say it wasn't last year, but it was 2014, I think. I'm pretty sure I went the summer of 2014. It was, yeah, it was. That was the last Warp Tour I went to, and that was when I saw Beartooth. They're so good live, dude.
Can't imagine. He's a great performer, but let's see. It was Attack Attack. It was Blackville Brides. I remember that.
Escape the Fate.
Escape the Fate. Um, both old and
We
new.
were in the Blackville Brides back then.
Dude, we were.
God damn, I can't see myself doing that anymore though. I don't know.
The first album was fantastic.
Was
I will say that to this day.
I
It was
enjoyed
great.
everything about it when we were into it. Like that was what I really enjoyed. And then I feel like kind of the fan base kind of started ruining shit. But
That's eh, I wouldn't say
not, well, I mean, I wouldn't say completely. Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I feel like we just kind of our music taste kind of just grew up. But
that's actually exactly how I would put it because I remember back then it was all about community, like the Outcasts mentality that kind of drew us to people or bands like Black Veil
Mm.
Brides, things of that nature.
We all had that in common, you know. We all wanted to like, you know, we all had that feeling.
Yeah, and I think that'd actually be a good topic for a video, or on the musical powwow. I might have to write that down. So, since then, what has your music taste evolved into?
But well, now I don't listen to really like anything of that genre, honestly, at all. It's more just like gent and deathcore, and then like indie and EDM music. I love EDM, like always, but I can't really choose between that and metal. Like it's kind of hard. I feel like I'd go with EDM just because I like the scene, but you can't ever replace the hypeness at a metal concert. And I'm being honest, like I don't think any other type of show can get more live than a metal show because I can go. I've been to a good amount of EDM shows in my life, and well, EDC whatever you want to say.
Mhm.
And they're hype, you know. You'll be out of breath and stuff, but when you go to a metal show, man, like that pit, it's just like everything that they're saying, you know, is almost like
Pure
you.
adrenaline.
It is, man, all of it. And there's so much shouting going on. Like you will be out of breath so easily. Like I find myself not being able to breathe so many times at a metal show, and I never really freak out. I'm honestly just so excited. But
I can kind of attest to it in the fact that so
mhm,
last year, for I guess as a gift for first year in college, I had gotten tickets to Shaky Knees here in Atlanta, and it's a music festival with a variety of different artists, and it was strange to me because it's usually pop artists and like indie rock kind of bands,
mhm.
and so I stayed in this one stage. There were three stages. I stayed at this one stage all day because I wanted a front row seat to go see the Strokes. Freaking love the
Hell
Strokes.
yeah.
And so it was right after Manchester Orchestra that there was a local metal band that was playing. They were called Mastodon. And these guys were significantly older, but as far as genre goes, they were like completely heavier than anybody who played before them or after them.
Mhm.
And the energy, I just felt like it completely changed. Like before, you had people, just kind of jumping
Yeah.
around, waving their arms around, the whole deal. And then when these guys
Yeah.
came on, the heavy bass, the fast guitars, and I think that was the first time I'd seen like an actual mosh pit at
Mhm.
one of these festivals, and it was just, oh my god, if I was just like a few feet to the right,
Mhm.
somebody would have pushed me directly into the pit. But I was watching from the side, and I couldn't pay attention to the band anymore at that point because it was just insane. And then you have these pockets of people on the side of the mosh pit like, what is this? I've
Mhm.
never seen this before. Because they're there for somebody like
Dude.
the
Right?
yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. They're
But
kind of just like they have that look of fear on their face, and they're like, "What is this monstrosity?" Like,
but it was really fun. It was really fun. That festival was, I think it was one of the best I've been to, even though I only went to see one band. I remember
mhm.
when the Strokes actually got up to play, it was it was so packed that I was up against some guy's back with somebody up against my back.
I
And I
know
had
those feels, dude.
it was great, man. It was great. But on that note,
See,
our
dude,
musical tastes are very different.
I feel like some people can't appreciate that. I don't know if it's because they're claustrophobic or what, but like when I'm at a show and we're all there for the same thing, I don't care how close I am to anybody. Like we're all like kind of family at that one point, you know. I wish some people would see it that way, because people will try to be dicks at shows, and it's like, how are you gonna be a dick, dude? When I literally came here to be happy. Like this is why I came here to see this band, play this song, play these songs, you know, and enjoy the time with like everybody else. I just don't understand some people, bro.
The people that try to cut in line in front of everybody. Be like, oh,
Yeah, and
my
then
sister's up there.
they expect, yeah, they expect to have like an assigned like spot. It's like, nigga, this is a concert. You are probably not gonna get back to your spot ever again if you leave it. Like, gosh,
I feel like I'm
I
at my
understand.
nicest when I'm at concerts, to be honest.
I am too, because I'm not trying to be that one asshole, you know.
Exactly.
But at the
There's
same
too
time,
many
you have
people
to
around.
stand your ground with some things. You just have to be careful.
Okay, so going back to the same festival, both of those things happened. So, first thing that happened, while everybody was trying to get up as far as they could to see the Strokes, there
Hmm.
was these two middle school chicks, and they thought they were hot shit. They thought they were the best, and they were like, "Oh, this guy up here is not letting me through," and I wasn't. I didn't even turn around to acknowledge him, and it was
Yeah.
amazing. The chick that was next to them,
Uh
she told
huh.
them off. She was like, she was all like, this is a concert. Everybody's here to have fun. You're just
Yeah.
being these little brats. Get over yourself. And they left that spot. I think they might have gone further back just to avoid that one chick. And so
Idiot.
another thing, and I feel proud about this. I haven't said this at all on the podcast, but there was this one chick, and she was so small that she could maneuver through the crowd very easily. Her boyfriend did not have that luxury. He was a few feet
Couple
back.
inches taller.
Yeah, he was a few feet back, and
Uh-huh.
I could see her like motioning to him like, "Come on, let's go," or "Come on, just push through."
Oh shit.
And he was just like, "No, no, I can't," because he's not trying to be a dick either.
Yeah.
And so I noticed this, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I think the lady wants you up there." He's like, "Oh, dude, really?" I'm like, "Dude, just go. Yes, go." He was like,
Oh
"Oh,
man.
thanks,
See.
man." And that is the guy I was pressed up against the entire concert.
Hey man, you helped him out though. You know what I mean? Like,
And they
I
had a fun
I
time.
appreciate it.
They had a fun time.
Kevin, you remind me of the guys that I randomly find at EDM concerts that will hand me water. Cause dude, I will be dancing so hard, bro, and like I will forget about water and everything, and I'll just be in the music. And then that one random dude will come up to me, and he'll just be like, "Hey man, you need some water?" And I'm just literally just like, "Thank you so much, dude. Like you don't even know how much I needed this. Like I didn't even know I needed this until you came up to me. Like gosh, it's like my guardian angel just shows up every now and then, and it's like a different person, and they're handing me water because I'm dehydrated.
Because all the refreshments there are like super overpriced.
Yeah, but dude, no. The venue that I was at, it's called 2720, and normally like if it's an EDM show, they'll have like free water, bro. But I know how a lot of other venues the water is like $5 and $6 and all this shit, and I'm just like, nigga, why? Like I'm trying to like enjoy myself and not die of fucking thirsty here, bro. Like, please help me out. And that's like, you might want to spend money on merch. I'm not saying that like, because I know some people they'll bring like a fuck ton of money to a concert, but honestly, like, sometimes depending on who I'm seeing, I might bring money just for the show, and I might bring a little bit for merch and for water. But if you're not careful, you can spend most of your money on the food and water, bro, and you won't even be able to get any merch.
Oh, dude, I'm guilty of spending way too much money at the merch booth.
Hmm. And you ain't got no water. Uh huh.
Exactly. I'm just like, this shirt is one of a kind. I ain't gonna find it on the walls of Hot Topic.
You ain't.
No.
You ain't though.
So I'm going
You
to
ain't.
gladly put down $40 for a concert shirt, and as a memento, because I feel like the whole concert experience, at least for me, it's you go, you have an amazing time, you remember it for a few weeks, and then the only thing you remember come a year or two down the road is the feeling you had like coming out of the concert. Like you'll remember,
Yeah.
pushing around, but you won't remember like, oh, what songs did they play? I can't. I know they played that one. I know they played this one. You're not gonna remember it like step for step.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. It's just more the
Exactly.
feeling.
Hmm.
And I think a shirt, it keeps that memory alive.
Oh yeah, it captures a lot of it.
Because like I guess some people see so many concerts in one year that they forget about certain ones, which is, it baffles me, but it's whatever. Um, let's see. What else can we talk about when it comes to music? I touched on the fact that our music tastes differ.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think it's going to be interesting because, and I don't think I've mentioned this on the podcast either, we're pretty much all trying to start a band. We've been trying since before the channel started, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
At least me
yeah.
and Tim.
It's
Yeah,
always been
it's always been you and I.
it has. It started with us.
And so it's really interesting to cooperate with James, Ken, and Tim because everybody's music taste, myself included, is almost completely different.
Hmm.
James is more on the pop punk kind of thing, with Green Day.
Yeah.
And then you got bands like Breathe Carolina that he listens to. And then you got Ken, who's strictly electronica,
I
dubstep.
love that though. I can. I don't know.
And then I think I might be the most different out of the entire group. I listen
Yeah, I think
to
so too.
just indie rock, alternative. I'll
Hmm.
even listen to old stuff. And I mean like old stuff, like 20s, 60s music, rockabilly, things like that. And then you got Tim, deathcore, EDM that makes your balls drop every time you listen to it.
Right.
So I have an appreciation for EDM. Half of
Hmm.
this music project that we're trying to put together, half of it is EDM or electronica. Not to get those confused.
Yeah.
Um, but I can't say that I actively go out of my way to listen to it.
Yeah.
It's more of a way to. I guess it originally started out as just an easier way to make music because I know in talking with you in the past that you and I, one of the things that we want to do is make music.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like an easier way to do it at the time, at least, because none of us had any extensive experience with an instrument to set
Yeah.
up a rock band. Though we did try. We did try.
We tried.
And it got messed up by somebody who's a control freak.
It did.
But I think that's. Let's see, what did I say? What is it? What have you been listening to? What got you? Okay, so another question. What got you into, I guess, your current
What I
music
listen to
taste?
now?
Yeah, like what
Honestly, a lot.
drives you to it?
Um, honestly, just how I live. Honestly, and my reality. Like I find myself listening to more positive stuff now. Like I can listen to maybe something that sounds downy or depressive, but I won't get like depressed. I'll be able to understand it, but it won't make me necessarily depressed. And I really like to listen to more underground stuff now. To be honest, and it's mainly when it comes to rap. Like I won't listen to a lot of like honestly, I don't really care for a lot of the rap artists, like the mainstream ones. Like ever since I got into Bones recently, I've just been finding a whole bunch of other underground artists like that, and I appreciate how real it is, and how really. I'm not saying anybody on the mainstream is like fucking trash, but I mean I kind of just did rappers at least, but like
You relate to it
I
more.
said, yeah, I can relate to it a lot more, and he talks about realer stuff. It's not the same thing every damn time, and it's like I don't mind listening to that because that's good for like parties and stuff. I'll put that on my playlist, for like a party here or there. But I like the real stuff. I like it when they get underneath your skin, and I guess some people don't understand that. But it's like it's the stuff that will maybe seem sad to somebody else, but it'll seem happy to you because you understand it, you know.
Hmm.
And I like music that has like deeper understand, like the really deep when they have really deep lyrics. Like that's the kind of stuff that I go for now. You know, I really like that. Like, there's nothing wrong with something simple here and there, but as I grow older, you know, like I really like the more complex things. And it's like I said, like with like positivity and whatnot. If it makes me feel good, I'm gonna keep listening to it. Like I just love stuff like that,
Hmm.
and I don't want to change. Like my music has changed. Like the style that I've listened to, the style of music that I listen to has changed, but it's maturing. You know, like I've noticed all the stuff that I used to listen to and the stuff I listen to now, and like it just keeps getting better, and I love it. You know, and I'm not gonna let it stop.
So, here's a question, because this is something that I noticed once I stopped listening to what we used to listen to. Did you notice that most of the music that we did listen to was very, very community centric, that it just got old? So the whole believe in yourself kind of deal. Like, do you feel like
Hmm.
that was something that was completely
Getting old.
overdone? Did that drive you away or something? I guess is what
Uh,
I'm.
I don't want to say it drove me away, but just the fact of hearing the same things over and over again, and like just the teen angst part of everything, you know, because a lot of like metalcore bands, like that's what they focus around. And I noticed that some, like I'm not gonna call out any names or anything, but it's like I've noticed some of them like they'll release a new album, and it's honestly it's centered around like the same thing, and like it's not really any different. And it's like I just can't listen to this anymore. And then I literally can't find pleasure in listening to it anymore as well. And there's nothing wrong with the believe in yourself message, but they they killed it. I feel like, you know, like, there's
Hmm.
other ways you can put it in your message by like just having a positive message can say believe in yourself, honestly. But I feel like they honestly over like it's to attract fans, yes, and it's to insert, I guess, a better lifestyle so people don't try to like
Hmm.
do suicidal things, but
Because it is a
like
problem.
it is. But I feel like a big deal of it, a big part of it is maturity because I realized like just growing up, you know, and then overcoming some shit. Like yeah, the music honestly really did help because when I go back and look at shit, I'm just like, if I didn't have this band, I probably wouldn't be here right now. Like they honestly helped me get through times in my life. I may not listen to some of them anymore, but I appreciate them for what they did for me, whether while I listen to them. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
That's how I feel about some of them. And then some of them, honestly, I just don't like anymore because it's like, ah, they're shit to me now. Like I can't get into this anymore. You know?
Yeah. I I kind of had like an epiphany moment
Hmm.
where I started listening to bands that were just completely out of the norm for me, and then just kind
Hmm.
of evaluating what I used to listen to. And so I just kind of sat down and asked, like, would I really be here had I not listened to them?
Right? Or would you
And
be listening to what you're listening to now if you hadn't listened to that? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
and so all those Facebook posts about being, Blackville Bride's Army, and I'm not
Yeah.
crapping on them, to each his own,
Yeah.
but I don't think I think it's just part of growing up. Like I feel
It
like I would
really
have
is.
found other outlets to, I don't know, keep myself going.
Hmm.
So that's kind of what got me away from that. Now, the reason I kind of pinpoint that is to relate it to something you just said about deeper lyrics. I
Yeah.
think it's super important that kids wanting to go into music realize the importance of
Hmm.
the power of lyrics. Like
Yeah.
when you listen to country songs that are just about beer and girls, or about a rap song that's just, about violence, the same
Yeah.
kind of violence,
Sex and
mind
money
you.
and shit. Exactly.
Um, what else is getting? Pop songs are becoming pretty generic as well.
And it's just I don't like what they push people towards, man. It pushes people towards material obsession, and that's not what they need in their life. Like people need to, like it pushes them to want to be like. other people that they shouldn't be. You know, that they take out the originality in the sense that you don't have an original self. Like you always should have a sense of self. Like you are different. Like because everybody is different. Like there is not one single person who is the same. And then people will see like an artist or someone on TV and they'll aspire to be completely like them. There's nothing wrong with being influenced. But you know, like have your own
Emulation.
way of doing it, you know?
Yeah, emulation.
Exactly.
Make whatever, I guess, use whatever work people put out as a drive to maybe one day aspire and inspire other people with your own work, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. That kind of derailed real quick. Um, it just goes to show that every single genre has its own generic problem. I mean, I don't want to
Oh
call it a
yeah.
problem because y there's nothing wrong with liking a popular song. Nothing wrong with it. Music is to each their own. Taste is subjective.
Hmm.
But it would be nice to see the future generations get away from, you know,
I think
fitting
I know.
into the stereotypes of the day. Because at
Yeah.
this point, like, it's become a stereotype. It's not, well, this is
It
the genre,
is.
this is what we sing about. No, it is now a negative stereotype.
It sucks, but it is, man. That's what it's turned into. I
So, I don't know.
feel like other people have ruined it for other people.
What do you mean by that?
Just by like overdoing some things with a stereotype. Like I can understand if you like a certain style, but some people will literally try too hard and like push themselves like to become something they're not.
That
And I
is
can
true.
understand wanting to feel belonged and all that, but like over the years, like I remember wearing clothes because I thought they were cool, you know, and then now it's kind of just like I'm gonna wear this because I like it and because I want to wear it, you know, and that's how it should always be, you know.
You and I
You
both.
had your own. So I was just talking about how you had your own sense of style, you know, like through high school. I remember that, and then
That was
there were
after
other
the
motherfuckers
fact.
that still did.
After the fact that I gave up wearing Hot Topic t-shirts, which admittedly I've kind of gone back to just a little bit. It's more like that one side of the shelf that's
Right? It's like I like this band still. I'll wear this.
it's not even that. It's that one side of the shelf where it has like all these video game, movie, TV references and whatnot. You know, those shirts that they used to bring in the
Yeah.
casual people. But it's weird. Every once in a while, you'll see a gem hanging on the walls at Hot Topic. I was talking with
Hmm.
Taylor about this. Like, it's not. When you find that gem, it's just like the heavens have opened up, the spotlight is right there, and it's just, wow, this
Man.
is completely out of place in what your scene is known for. Now,
Hmm.
I'm going to take this opportunity to bash on Hot Topic a little bit. They say it's all about the music, but it's not. It's about
uh,
your particular scene, and that's so unfortunate. Yeah, like you can see them kind of coming back from the brink, bringing like they have their own wall now called Hall of Fame, which is like bands like AC/DC, the Dead Kennedys, things like that, which is
yeah.
great. But for the most part, it's all very,
Generic.
very generic.
I hate it now, honestly, dude. Like, they used to honestly have a lot. Like you said, I don't mind the Wall of Fame. That's cool. I respect that. You know, that's where a lot of stuff came from today. But the
Mhm.
stuff now, like, it's really the same thing. And like, they got rid of a lot of other bands, dude, and they won't put them in there anymore. And it's like, ugh. It just pains me because I can't even go in there now and like look, like I can't even go to the band to look at the band shirts. It's like I won't even go over there anymore to do that. And
I'll
like
go there
honestly,
every
now
once in
for
a
band
while.
shirts, I order them online.
Oh
It is
yeah,
everyone.
definitely.
Yeah,
Like one
online.
time I found an Arcade Fire shirt, and they're
Mhm.
like the indie darlings of the music industry. And I just couldn't believe it. I was like, is this really here? Am I holding this in my hand right now? Am I gonna wake up from like this trance and find out that I'm holding one of 4 Pierce the Veil shirts? And I'm not bashing Pierce the Veil either, but I'm just saying, like,
Mhm.
there have been times where there's like an entire row of Black Veil Brides Pierce the Veil, and
There has been.
it's sad, but I know that's what sells. That's business. But it's sad. Like, at least changed your, it's not even a mission statement, but at least change the whole, it's all about the music. It's not about the
Right.
music.
It's not, man. That's true. Please.
But yeah, I guess that's all. That was all the topics. Unless you have anything to declare.
um. The future aspirations.
Yeah, you did like talk about it.
I did. Okay. Cool. I wasn't sure.
I just didn't know if you wanted to like. You said you wanted to become a better lyricist.
I do. Like I write now, but I've been finding myself not writing as much, and I feel like it's just the tangle of all the responsibility of the bullshit of being an adult, and all this stuff they kind of force at us. Like the system is fucked, and I hate it, and it drives me to the point of being tired all the time because I have all this to worry about. Like I've got school, I got classes, I've
Mhm.
got work, and it's like I can, and then I've got Taekwondo too, It's not like I'm trying to seem like I've got all this weight piling on me, but I do. And it's different for everybody because different people have a different amount of like weight of responsibility that they have to carry throughout their lives.
Mhm.
And honestly, like I kind of just use it a little bit. I try to use it as motivation because you got to start from somewhere, and if you don't use all the negativity and like if you have okay, let's say there's negativity in your life, like and you'll just let it sit there,
Mhm.
and you don't know what to do with it. Use it as motivation. Like say to yourself, like this is why I'm going to rise above. Like this is why I'm going to make things better than they can be right now. And I try to do that because like I look at all the bullshit every now and then, and I'm just saying to myself like, I want to be that person that rises above and like lets people know that they can get past that. Like like they know how to do stuff their own way, and I know how to do stuff my own way, and like I'm not any better than you. You're not any better than me. Like you're the best of yourself, and that's all you can be. And like I like my imagination may not be like it used to be, just because I'm busy a lot now.
Mhm.
But like my writing has gotten a lot deeper, and it's a lot more positive too. Because I started a new chapter in one of my books actually, and it's not a book, but it's a notebook. But I'll go back in it every now and then, and I'll just read like my old writing style and just how some of the stuff used to be just so like angry and whatnot.
Mhm.
But now it's like I literally can write with a more like positive outlook, and I'll have to actually show you some of it when I get the chance, man.
Yeah,
It's really good.
I actually haven't seen any of your writings since I was in Illinois. I think it was
Yeah,
junior year.
yeah, dude.
That's
I
been a
had a notebook
while.
full of stuff. It was the purple one, and then I started writing in this black one. But I actually had a lot of songs in my old iPod Touch. I want to charge it and like take all the songs off there and put them somewhere. Cause there's literally so much lyrical talent. It's not even funny, dude. Like when I look back on this, I'm just like, how did I think of this? And like, it was just because that one emotion that I was feeling was so heavy and so strong. Like I was able to pour out so much. It was
Mhm.
just so easy for me to do that. And now like I won't feel I don't feel like as sad as I used to be. So like it's not as easy to write a sad song. I'm not trying to really write one, but if I ever do feel like that emotion, I might pour something out on the paper. But like I said, the one thing I do admire about my writing now is how like I've matured, and like I can tell for a fact that like I'm not going to be writing about stuff that how do I say, like it's more of what's on my mind at the moment. That's kind of how I try to do it, and like I try to get real deep with it. I try to go like in between the lines of whenever I'm writing stuff.
Hmm.
I go for that subliminal message sometimes too. Like it'll be to where you understand it, but there's always going to be that one point where like it's going to be a while before you understand this. And I love that about some songs because there's this band called Northland. They have this album called Discoveries, and I used to listen to it all the time, like my junior and senior year. I'd just listen to the lyrics and I'd sing along and I'd be like, I love this album and everything. And now when I'm listening to it, like I legit understand like almost everything that they're talking about, and it makes you happy because it lets you know you've matured, and then you just know that there was a reason why you were attracted to a certain song. Ah, gosh, there's just so much within like lyrics, man. And then people don't understand it because they can affect you like subconsciously, and you don't even know it.
That's true.
And then like later down the road, like you realize, like, oh my gosh, like this is why, man. Like music it can be quite an influence on your life, man. People don't realize that.
Absolutely. And if I may close that out with a bit of advice, because while I was living there, I didn't do much writing, and so
Hmm.
to that I say, avoid the rut. Avoid
Yeah,
the rut. Always think about the next time you're gonna write, because that
that helps, dude.
that 2 years really killed me as far as writing. But
Really
yeah, it's gotten better. I don't know.
good.
So, with that said, that is all the time we have for this episode of Mindless Banter. Thank you for joining me, Tim. It was very
No problem,
insightful.
man.
And I mean that.
But
That's not very. I know that didn't come off as genuine, but I mean that. I
I don't
learned
know.
things that I actually didn't know.
I honestly really liked doing this for real. Like I enjoyed it. It's not every day. Like I honestly like to talk about things like this because I can't bring them up with everybody, and
Yeah,
some people just don't like quite understand. But I appreciate being able to share my side on things.
yeah, it's cool. And now, you, speaking to the audience, you know a bit more about Tim. And you're going to see more of him on the podcast, and I would hope on the musical powwow if he has something to talk about. That platform is always open to you.
Word.
And that being said, we'll see you in the next episode of whatever is uploaded. I have no idea what that's going to be. So, good night, everybody.
Good night.